I would like to call Harshiv on the stage, and he will explore the science of neuroplasticity.
Hello. Very good afternoon to my dear judges and my dear friends. Myself Harshiv P from 6th day, and today my topic is rewiring the brain, the science of neuroplasticity. So before I start my presentation, I would like to acknowledge those who helped me in my presentation. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge my class teacher who gave me suggestions in my presentation. Then my thanks to DV sir and Bharti ma'am who gave us this wonderful opportunity, and my special thanks to Dr. Gavan Lagani who has done MS in neurosurgery, and he helped me to understand this project better. And my mother and father who helped me in my presentation. Okay, my dear friends, these are the topics that I will cover in my presentation: introduction, history, types, mechanism, applications of neuroplasticity, including future research direction, a case study, and conclusion. My dear friends, before I start my presentation, I would like to share a story. Imagine, my dear friends, your brain were a city, roads crisscross it, connecting districts and neighborhoods. A more road is traveled, the more smoother and wider it becomes. But here's the question, my dear friends. In your own city, if one road gets blocked, new pathways can spring up, rerouting traffic and making unexpected connections. This ability is known as neuroplasticity, my dear friends. Neuroplasticity, often referred as brain plasticity, is the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout the life. It's the brain's ability to adapt, learn, and recover. Neuroplasticity is essential for cognitive flexibility, emotional well-being, and lifelong learning. Now let us explore the history of neuroplasticity, my dear friends. Evolution of neuroplasticity is very incredible. Early beliefs, dominant view was that our brain is unchangeable or fixed. Our influential scientist named Santiago Raman also supported this view and said neural pathways were static after a certain age. Mid-20th centuries, research by Carl Lashley and Donald Hobbes. The theory was cells that fire together, wire together. 1960s to 1970s, research by Paul Birch, who showed our brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout the life. Then it is 1980s to 1990s, imaging studies like MRI and created, and concrete proof of neuroplasticity was available, my dear friends. 2000 to present, neuroplasticity is now broadly accepted. Modern research expanded and showed it can improve our lifestyle. Now let us talk about neurons. Neurons are the fundamental unit of our brain and nervous system. It receives signals from sensory input and external world and send it to other body parts. Its structure, dendrites, cell body, synaptic terminals, and axon. My dear friends, let us go in detail. Dendrites receives neurotransmitters, all information. Then cell body contains nucleus, and my dear friends, nucleus is the powerhouse of the whole neuron. Then axon sends electrical impulses to synaptic terminals. Then it is myelin shell, which is formed around the axon, and it helps to boost its speed of transmission. Then it is axon terminal, also known as synaptic terminal. It is the last part of the whole neuron, and it releases neurotransmitters. Now let us talk about types. There are total 3 types types of neurons. Now, sensory neuron. Sensory neuron receives signals from receptors and send it to central nervous system. Motor neuron. Motor neuron sends information to CNS and muscle and brain. Interneuron. Interneuron connects neurons within CNS and it is involved in processing of information. Function. Its function is to serve electrical impulses and chemical signals for communication. Then it is neurotransmitters, the chemical by which neurons communicate. My dear friends, let me share some examples. Dopamine. Dopamine is responsible for pleasure, reward, and motor control. Serotonin. Serotonin is responsible for mood and appetite. Melatonin, my dear friends, it is responsible for sleep, wake, cycle. Now let us explore types of neuroplasticity. There are total two types of neuroplasticity, functional and structure plasticity. Functional plasticity is the brain's ability by which we can relocate its function from damaged to undamaged area. Structural plasticity, it involves brain's physical changes in response to learning, experience, or an injury. Notice the mechanism of neuroplasticity. Synaptic plasticity, process by which neurons communicate. Neurotransmitters, process by which new neurons are getting created. Myelination, process by which myelin sheath is formed around the axon. By learning something new, my dear friends, you can increase your neuroplasticity. Yes, you are listening to me, your brain is changing. I have come up with two lifestyle factors and specific intervention. In lifestyle factors, first is exercise, proper nutrition, adequate sleep. In specific intervention, first is meditation and mindfulness, brain gym exercises, learning a new language, learning a new skill. Okay, let me share a real example. My grandfather is 72 years old. Then too, he is learning music and instruments, and now he is trying to do research in music and instrument. Isn't it wonderful, my dear friends? Okay, there are so many fields that uses neuroplasticity, some as education, mental health, and technology. My dear friends, let me share some more examples. Fighting stress and anxiety, overcoming trauma, addiction recovery, learning a new skill, injury or rehabilitation, or enhancing education. My dear friends, now let us do fun field exercise of neuroplasticity. Judges and my dear friends, please do with me. First exercise is 1 and 5. From first hand you need to do 5, and second hand you need to do circle, and you need to alternate them. Please do with me. Okay, now let us move to second exercise, which is punky and thumb finger. Third exercise, which is circle and triangle. From first hand you need to do triangle, and from second hand you need to do circle.
Mr. Build new pathways in your brain. It will increase your neuroplasticity, my dear friends.
Judges and my dear friends, thank you for doing exercise with me. Okay, for better understanding, I met Dr. Gavan Vaghani, who has done MS and MCH in neurosurgery, and he is the director Department of Neurosurgery in Sterling Hospital. Let me share a brief video of me and him communicating. I just play it. Sakshi, it is here only. Myself, Harshiv P. I am studying in 6th day in Genius-English Medium School. My intellectual need presentation topic is neuroplasticity, and I have come up with some questions to ask you. Please help me to understand these questions better.
Welcome.
Okay. First question. Can you explain me neuroplasticity in brief, sir?
Neuroplasticity is the process, or we can say is the brain synaptic connections and the functionality of the brain cells. So neuroplasticity means it is changing the connections as well as the changing the brain's area. So when brain cell functions or it works, then it will create its own memory.
Thank you, sir. My second question is, why neuroplasticity is important?
See, neuroplasticity is very important because the development of the brain is associated with the neuroplasticity. As the child grows or as we ages, the experience we gather, the environment we gather, and different type of scenarios create a different changes in our brain. So that's how our brain develops.
Thank you, sir. My third question is, any example of patient which is related to neuroplasticity?
So you have heard about the stroke or trauma or accident, and that has caused injury to the brain. So in that particular scenario, what happens? The trauma or stroke can damage some part of the brain. So that part cells will die. So in those patient again started developing the function which was the earlier cells. So when the cell dies, despite of its function has lost, some other cell will get its function and start behaving like the same.
Any messages you would like to give people in this neuroplasticity?
So yes, one thing is we have to do brain games, different brain games like chess, like other puzzles, like Sudoku, whatever you do mind activity or mind games, that will increase your neuroplasticity.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving your precious time and sharing your knowledge. Thank you. Okay, my dear friends, did you learn something new from this video? Okay, there are so many researches going on neuroplasticity. I have come up with two. In brain imaging studies and emerging technologies. In brain imaging studies, first is EEG, electroencephalogram, who detects our brain waves and measures the brain waves. Then it is PET, positron emission tomography. It takes our brain's detailed images from a radioactive material known as tracer, and it sees whether there is a stroke, bleeding, or swelling in your brain. Then MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. It also takes pictures like PET. Then it is emerging technologies. Brain-computer interfaces. When a system is joined by your body, so that system will translate the command and give a responsibility to control an external device like a robotic hand or robotic limb. I visited MRI scan and CT scan department in Sterling Hospital. For better understanding, you can see my photos. Neurofeedback. Neurofeedback is also known as our brain real-time smartwatch. It detects our brain waves in real time. It measures our brain waves from EEG sensors. It can improve our cognitive flexibility and enhance our concentration and focus, and it can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. My dear friends, I have come up with a real prop. As you can see, my dear friends, this is a neurofeedback device. We wear it like this, and it is used for tracking stress, attention, or stress, and it is used by IPS coaches, sports coaches, IIT, then many some medical industries. Glass half full girl. This is a perfect example of neuroplasticity. This is a story of Mora Youth. She was born with prenatal stroke in the left hemisphere. After the medical surgery at 6.5, after 9 months old, after her recovery at 6.5 years old, she could do basic things like walking, learning, and doing basic things. My dear friends, I did a wonderful survey on neuroplasticity and I got wonderful response of 71 people. You can check my survey questions. Now I finally conclude. Every thought you think, every habit you build, every skill you develop, they all change your mind. Neuroplasticity reminds us that we are not prisoners of our past or fixed by fate. We are architects of our own mind. My dear friends, the question is, what will you do with this incredible power? Will you strengthen the pathways of knowledge, resilience, and growth, or let the wheel of inaction take over? Remember, my dear friends, your brain is always changing. The choice how your brain changes is yours. These are the references that I could put in my presentation. Before I finally complete my presentation, I would like to sincerely appreciate Genius School for its vision and efforts and its management for prioritizing holistic development of students and actively promoting neuroplasticity through some innovative practices by introducing new language programs, organizing adventurous tours, hosting intellectual meet presentation competitions, and the cultural and sports activities. Thank you and have a nice day, my dear friends. Any question, my dear friends? Yes?
As you said about PET, and it has radioactive things, so maybe it should be harmful for our body. So it is.
Okay, good question, by the way. So it uses a radioactive material known as tracer. Yeah, it is not harmful, but we should not get more close to that radioactive chemical. Okay. Judges, any questions?
Any questions from sir?
Do you know the term paralysis attack? Yeah, when some part of our body is getting, we can say it is not working or moving. So what do you think? Is it related to neuroplasticity? Okay, it gives, it is little related to neuroplasticity when the brain is getting paralyzed or getting a little damaged. That time neuroplasticity works. It gives, it do not gives a full recovery, but it helps in recovery. Yes, good question, by the way. Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Excellent presentation. Again, put your hands together for My dear friend, my question to you is, how you develop your brain? How you give challenges to your brain? What do you do?
Okay, by doing some new activities, like as we do in junior school, cultural activities, sports activities, some new activities, which develop in or builds new pathways in our brain. From that, my brain is also used to neuroplasticity, sir.
Do you play chess, Sudoku, or any other games?
Yes, I play chess and carom sometimes.
Okay. Any other things do you do?
Okay, from outdoor games I do football, and I have built a new habit that I brush from my left hand. Before I used to do from my right hand.
So what do you think that for developing your neuroplasticity, do you require to have brain game or your outdoor sports also may help you developing this?
Good question, sir. Actually, by doing something new from your routine, that will cause neuroplasticity or that will build new pathways in your brain. Good question, sir.
My friend, very good answer also. So look, what is the message? Message is like you should challenge your brain always. Because our brain is having immense potential. Immense potential. See, even highly active and highly intellectual person, they are also not using their brain more than 15 to 17%. More than, I'm talking. Maximum, if you talk the most intelligent person, Albert Einstein, then too he was also not using his brain more than 17%. Now see, look, your brain is more than 90%, it is unused. And through different challenges, maybe your sports, maybe cultural thing, maybe any innovative thing, anything in your academics, anything in art, anything in science, anything in robotics, sports, music, whatever you want to do. But you should always test your brain, always. You should never underestimate yourself. Give level next challenges to your brain, always. And try to do something new. Do new experiments, new experiences. Sometimes you may work, sometimes you may fail also. But this will help you developing the capability of your mind. So our mind is having crores and lakhs of neurons. Very few we are using. And if you are not using, then they are slowly and gradually, their level of thinking, their level of intellectual is going down. So better to use our brain maximum. You can play any game, try to do something new always. But excellent presentation. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for him again.
Actually, I would like to show a little video of neurons getting connected. Shakshi, can you please show the video? Yeah, this one, neuron connections. See, when two neurons communicate.
What you're looking at here are two neurons under the microscope that I've filmed. And if you wait really patiently, you'll be able to see them connecting to one another.
As you can see, the neurons are getting connected. See. Thank you and have a nice day.